Blog Talk Radio.
Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. This is the Choppin It Up Show, brought to you by the Marching Podcast and Blog Talk Radio. I'm your official Marching Podcast announcer, David Thompson, and here's your host, the Phantom Podcaster himself, Joe Beard.
Good evening and welcome to Choppin It Up. I am your host, Joe Beard, and happy to be of service to you tonight. Today is May 28th, 2013, 5 o'clock on the West Coast, 8 o'clock on the East Coast, and we appreciate you listening this evening. This month is the month of May, and we are continuing our celebration of our one-year anniversary on the air here with Blog Talk Radio. 1 year ago this month, I started broadcasting on Blog Talk Radio, and I'm blessed to be here 1 year later with plans to be here many more. We want this month to be special, so we will be chopping it up every Tuesday. Well, it's the end of the month now, so we've chopped it up every Tuesday this month with some of my classmates from Jackson State, and they are doing big things in the world today. I'm honored and proud to know these people because they're graduates of a great HBCU institution, making a difference and providing positive image for our kids. At the end of the broadcast, if you decide you like the show, then we appreciate a donation to the network if you feel so in your heart, of course. Simply go to themarchingpodcast.com, click on the donate button to improve the show and help build our scholarship fund. Tonight, we chop it up with Mara Hall. Mara is a graduate of Jackson State University and came in the band in 1994. 94 was a special year because I believe there were so many freshmen, I believe they outnumbered the upperclassmen, I believe. It was just a special year. There were a lot of people from 94 that marched 4 years, and they were the senior class when I was there at Jackson State in 1997, I believe. So a lot of special people in that class, a lot of huge players, a lot of dominant players that helped us with that sound that Jackson State had there in 1997. We don't have too many YouTube tapes of that. You know, we didn't have that technology back then, but 97 was a very heralded powerhouse band in the Sonic Boom history. So going back to Mara, she was part of this legendary class, I guess you could say. Mara also marched 2 different instruments with the Sonic Boom. She currently works in Hollywood as an actress, and I always tell her that, you know, it's exciting to see her on TV, and I've already seen her on some reality shows, you know, which follows the pattern of this month of proud classmates and graduates of Jackson State doing big things in the world today. So we'll go ahead and continue to chop it up with our classmates and with Mara Hall tonight. This is a podcast and will not take any calls, but you're welcome to contact the show at marchingpodcast@gmail.com. Tweet us at marchingpodcast or follow our blog the number 4.themarchingpodcast.com. Let's take this time to hear from our sponsors. Tonight's show is brought to you by Liquid Effects Photography, Block Band Music, Bandhead.org, Universal Credit Sources, and Big Deal Fundraising. Let's take the time to hear from them now.
Is your credit score keeping you from buying a home, a car, starting a business, or getting a job? Is your score keeping you from living the life you want? Well, look no further than Universal Credit Sources. UCS can help with charge-offs, collections, late payments, bankruptcy, foreclosure, debt settlement, tax liens, and more. Our program is affordable with results in as little as 40 days. Call now for your free 10-minute consultation with Senior Credit Analyst and Loan Officer Angie B. Call her direct line at 469-362-9904. That's 469-362-9904. Or check out the website at universalcreditsources.com. Universal Credit Sources for anything that's hurting your credit score. Are you thinking of tying the knot, having a party, or celebrating that special time in your life? To capture these special moments, call Liquid Effects Photography and take advantage of our 10 years of quality and experience. Liquid Effects Photography covers most of the Midwestern U.S. and will travel even farther on request. Call us at 773-454-5556. That's 773-454-5556. Or check out our website, liquideffects.com. That's LIQUIDEFFEX.com. Come experience the uniqueness of Liquid Effects Photography. Block Band is a minority-owned music business that you can think of as your assistant band director. We help grow your musicians with a great selection of traditional concert band music. Then we back up their performance with necessities like reeds, oil, drum heads, drumsticks, and mallets. Finally, we outfit your players and auxiliary in shoes, spats, and gloves that match our precise custom drills. Got band? If so, then Block Band's got you. Check blockbandmusic.com or call us at 919-698-2560. That's blockbandmusic.com, 919-698-2560. Attention high school directors and alumni. Does your band need to raise money to travel, buy instruments, or uniforms? Are you looking to raise money to help your band? Well, Big Deal Fundraising is rapidly becoming one of the largest distributors of fundraising products in the industry. Big Deal is based in New York City and ships anywhere in the United States, offering quality products, fast delivery, and innovative consultation that will help you meet your fundraising goals. Call today at 855-244-4430 or visit us at BigDealFundraisingUSA.com. Big Deal Fundraising, your fundraising partner for your band or music ensemble. What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on Bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out Bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to Bandhead.org. And coming this fall, HBCUbands.com. Write that down, HBCUbands.com.
Okay, and we're back, and we're ready to chop it up with Mar. Before we chop it up with her, I just wanted to say I was just in Jackson this past week, and it was the first time in a long time, about 8 years I had been down there, and it was good to reconnect with so many good people. I even posted on my Facebook page that it was good to see the alumni and the Qs and, family and, all the people that are doing so well in their careers now. I'm 34, I'll be 35 this year, and so now people have been working for a little while, living in nice homes, driving nice cars and in nice neighborhoods. And it's hard to get that set up, in California just because of the standard of living, but it was just good to go back and not only see all the green and all the trees and stuff, but just seeing all my classmates living in those coveted neighborhoods and, just making a difference by providing that image. And that image is so important that we talk about here in the Marching Podcast. It was just great to be in that environment, to be totally submersed in that environment. Not where I am now, but it was just great, just to see that and being a part of that and just going and visiting someone and visiting all the people that I saw, all the people that are listening that, I saw this past week. Shouts out to you, and I appreciate it. Shouts out to the family, and RIP to my grandmother. Looking out for you, Dad, as well. So let's go ahead without any further ado, chop it up with Mara Hall.
You're now here with the Marching Podcast, and we're chopping it up with Mara Hall. What's going on today, Mara?
Hey, Joe. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. I really appreciate you being on the show and helping to celebrate the 1-year anniversary month here. I had to make sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, I had to make sure I got you on here, Mara. So let's start. Let's go ahead and start. Where are you from?
I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan.
Okay. Now, are your folks from the Detroit, Michigan, too?
They are. They are from Detroit, Michigan. I got introduced to coming down south through my band director, my high school band director.
Okay. All right. Now, where did your high school band director go to school?
He went to Jackson State University. He marched in the Sonic Boom of the South, and he actually introduced me to Jackson State and to the Sonic Boom in 1990 as a freshman in high school when he took us down for homecoming.
Oh, wow. So was that your first exposure to the show style marching?
It was, but I can remember before that, like, watching on BET, like, all of the Black college games, and they would always show the band. And I think that was my first introduction into Black college bands, was from BET, actually. And then it just, seeing it going down in my high school with the show style band, it just made it even better.
Yeah, that's really cool, because I know a lot of people we've talked to, they said that, BET, when BET used to show those games, and they used to show the whole halftime show, and now, we don't have that now, so, that's why we definitely want to make sure we get that exposure out there, like we're doing here. So, you marched in high school, and he went to Jackson State. Now, when you graduated, where did you end up going to school yourself?
When I graduated from high school, I ended up going to Jackson State University on a full music scholarship to play in the band and to also be a music major.
Okay, now what made you pick Jackson State?
Ever since I went to Jackson State in 1990 for homecoming, I was pretty much sold. I knew that I wanted to go to Jackson State because of what I saw on that campus, the camaraderie, the energy, the excitement, just the love of Black community and culture. I knew that's where I wanted to go from the first time that I stood on that campus. Yeah,
I know, and especially in 1990, that was a really good band, too. Like, that band was really good.
It was, because when we came for homecoming, they had just gotten back from Motown 30 celebration in Los Angeles. So they just came back from that, and I remember Dow Taylor was the band director, and it was so exciting. And, they even had a female tuba player that played the tuba at Jackson State. Her name was Vanessa. And from seeing her and going down there, I wanted to play the tuba. That's when I started learning how to play the tuba from that whole experience, which was amazing.
That's really, really cool. So that rolls into my next question. I was going to ask what you played there at Jackson State.
Well, my primary instrument is clarinet. I am a classical clarinetist by training, and I also play the tuba, the sousaphone. I started playing the sousaphone after I got back from Jackson State my freshman year. I think I started my sophomore year in high school learning how to play the tuba, and so that was my secondary instrument. So that's what I actually marched in the boom with for my first 2 years.
Okay, so you marched, and so then you played clarinet then the last couple of years?
The last 2 years, correct.
Yeah, because that's where I remember. I came in 97. I think that was your senior year, I believe. And and you played clarinet. And I remember someone said, Mara played tuba, and I was like, what? I like, really? So I was like, that's pretty tight. So that's actually really cool. What would you say was your most memorable experience in the sonic boom?
I don't have one experience that was just the most memorable. I think the whole experience as a whole is going to an HBCU and the friendships that I built and the level of discipline that I gained by being in the band and being able to put on shows every week. I mean, I just took so much from the whole experience, and I use it in every day of my life. Like, I just remember all of the things that I was taught as a bands person, and it just made it just the most amazing experience of my life. And so I don't really have one thing that just comes to mind. I mean, it was all amazing. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, I remember, like, lots of things. Like, I don't have one thing. I know, like, we chopped it up with Bourne last week, and, like, when we recorded, he broke it down to 2. But, like, when we were starting, I mean, he had more than 2 to start with. But yeah, I definitely understand, just the camaraderie and just the overall HBCU experience. The band, I mean, it's part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's cool. So what was your major there at Jackson State? I think you told me.
Music education was my major.
Okay. Now, did you have dreams or aspirations actually being in the music field, like beyond Jackson State, what you were going to do with your degree?
Yes, my plan was to become the first female African American principal clarinetist in a major symphony orchestra. That was my goal, and I was in route of doing that. I actually, when I left Jackson State, I went on and got my master's degree at Cincinnati Conservatory, which is like one of the best music schools in the country. And then I went on and worked on a doctorate in clarinet performance as well, trying to pursue my dreams of becoming a classical clarinetist. But life happened, and I actually stopped playing and started teaching music and became a band director in Detroit, Michigan, where I taught middle school and high school band for 5 years. And I was also the assistant director of band at Alcorn State University.
Wow.
So I went in a totally different direction from what I initially planned on doing.
That's actually really cool, because I remember, I think you were the director at a middle school or something. I think I remember talking to Isaac or someone from Detroit, and they were saying how good that they were. And I was like, okay,
yeah.
Mara's doing her thing out there. So that's actually really, really cool, because, I remember I came into Jackson State as a music major, and I've always given props to people who graduate in that major, because it was no joke. It was seriously hard, and just people, who I really commend you for, that degree, because it was like in the stars to me. Like, once I actually got down, because that's when I transferred from Johnson C. Smith. They were telling us that the music program was unaccredited or whatever, and so I was trying to be a music major when I came to Jackson State, and then when that reality hit me, it wasn't no joke. So I've always had the utmost respect for you and McFadden and all the people that has finished through music. So that's great. Yeah, that's wonderful. So after you left Alcorn, where did you go then?
After I left Alcorn, I went back to Detroit, and I became the director of band at Henry Ford High School. And I was there for 2 years, but unfortunately, in 2005, 2006, all of the teachers that were hired in the Detroit public schools were laid off because of funding.
Wow.
So I was laid off as a music teacher and never went back because there were no jobs. So, then I left there and went back to the University of Southern Mississippi and was finishing on my doctoral degree in clarinet performance.
Okay. Wow, I didn't know. We always hear, about all the teacher cuts, and I just can't believe that's, it hit Detroit like that. I'm also reading, it's happening in Chicago, too, and, a lot of those areas. So we definitely, that's why, we're trying to be here. We can try to help so that those things don't happen as far as education being cut. That's amazing to me that's what's ended up getting cut nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the first thing to get cut, music and art.
Yeah, that's
unfortunately.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Okay, so after that, so I have to say, I moved out here in I think 2006, and later on, I can't remember what I remember talking to you, and I remember saying that you moved out here. Or how did the transition happen to where you moved to California and you launched your acting career?
When I was in Detroit as a band director, I would always have great productions and shows from my marching band. We would really put on the show, and I would always be the announcer, and I was very dramatic and I was an entertaining person. And I think one of the other band directors told me, Mara, you should be on the radio, or, you should be an actress. And I was like, that's not a real career, no. And so, I just put it off. And then I started auditioning for a reality show. And in particular, a reality show that was on Oxygen called Lamik's Fat Chance. And I got really, really close between me and another person to getting on that show. And that happened for that show and another show. So I was like, this isn't a coincidence that I'm getting this close to, acting careers or whatever, or jobs. So I said, let me just take the classes, see what I can do. So I took a few acting classes when I was getting my doctorate at USM and ended up getting a part in one of the main stage theater productions, which was Blood Wedding by Federico Garcia Lorca. It was a major production, and I had a main role in it, and I wasn't even a theater major.
Wow.
So I was like, this is not coincidence, so let me follow this. And I ended up going to visit New York and LA to figure out which city I wanted to move to, and I didn't care for New York that much, and I came to LA, and I liked it. So I packed up all of my stuff one summer morning and drove 3 days to LA by myself to pursue acting.
Wow, you stepped out on faith, kind of, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. So, what would you say is the toughest part of being in the acting business?
The toughest part is to continue on your path and on your dream and not giving up on it, because you hear a lot of rejections, you hear no all the time, and that can really affect the person's psyche and how they feel, and you just have to keep going. I think that's the hardest thing for me, like knowing that, okay, if I keep going, something is eventually going to pan out, something is going to happen, dreams will come true. So I think that's probably one of the hardest things. Also, it's a struggle. You have to give up a lot of things that you're accustomed to having. Like, I'm 36 years old. I'm used to, making a certain amount of money and living a certain quality of life. And as a working actress, you can't really do that at the beginning. It's like you really have to give up a lot of things. You can't go see your family as much. You can't drive a certain car that you want or have a certain material items that you want. So everything has to go towards your career, towards your craft. So sacrificing the finer things in life has been very difficult as well.
Wow, okay. But still, you're still making it. I can't tell that, you're struggling or anything. Like, I've seen you on a couple of things. What would you say has been, your greatest reward to this point so far?
My greatest reward is every time I hear that I booked something, and booking means that I got the job. I've auditioned for it, and I got the job. Every time I hear that, that's what keeps me going. Every time I book a job, like I just filmed a feature film this past week. It's a scary movie called Death Factory, and this is my first time as a leading actress in a feature film. So every time I hear that I book something, that keeps me going, and that really excites me, and it's just an amazing feeling to know that I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing what God has positioned me to do in life.
Yeah, that's really cool, and I have to say it's exciting for me too. Like, when I see you, or I think I was real crunk. I think it was So You Think You Can Dance? Is that the name of the show?
Dance your ass off.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. And I was like, there go Mara. And it was a trip. And it was a trip because, my wife and I, we watch a lot of reality TV, and watching that show, it was like a trip to see that, you being one of the actresses. It was a trip. You would talk to the confession camera, you know what I'm saying, and you would talk, and I was like, damn, I know her. It was a trip. It was really exciting. You know what I'm saying? So,
thank you.
Yeah, so it's cool. And then, just calling and talking to everybody, to say, oh, Mara was here. And even seeing you on Facebook, having, your pictures and all that stuff like that. It's really exciting just from my standpoint to see it. So, I have to tell you that. So, okay, so you're out here, and is there anything else other than, I guess, what you say, is there anything else on the horizon that you're excited about or that you're looking for? Or do you think that there's something that you may branch out into in the future?
My goal is to become a household name, to be better than Oprah. I think that is what my calling is, and also to use my celebrity status to help children and to be a mouthpiece for our kids and our communities. Because music was everything to me, and if I could, use my celebrity status to provide musical programs for underprivileged kids, that's what I would love to do. So that's definitely something that I have in the plans and the work to do, and besides the acting.
Okay, well, definitely, since we're close and we're in the same state, and we definitely have to combine some efforts then to make some of those things happen. I know that I want to build the bridge to build some more support for our schools, especially for the kids in this region of the country. You and I have both talked about how different young people here are in California versus back east, or there's not as many band directors that went to Jackson State or being the influence like they were on you out here, and
right.
And we really want to change that. So I'm just excited to catch up with you, and I'm definitely going to get to the Jackson State alumni meeting this evening too as well. So before we sign off, Mara, I want to see if you have any advice for the young student out there, maybe going to get their postgraduate degree in music, or anyone that's thinking about considering acting, or maybe someone that's out there that's really close to maybe their acting job, and they're thinking about driving, like you did, to California. Do you have any advice for those people?
I do. Always believe in yourself and never give up on your dream. If you want to become a world-class musician or a world-class thespian or world-class athlete, whatever you want to do in life, never let anybody deter you from your dreams. I remember when I was in grad school, my college professor, my clarinet teacher, he told me that I would never play in an orchestra. And that really affected me because, you're expecting your teachers to be a pillar of advice and a pillar of moral fortitude to show you exactly what you should be in life, and your teacher's telling you can't do something. And I kind of believed what he said, but because of that experience, I know that with acting, no one will stop me from what I need to pursue and what I need to do. So I'm saying that to say, never let anybody take you off your course of action. You can, whatever you want to do, put your mind to it, you work hard at it, you put yourself in the right places at the right time. Now, as far as becoming an actor or an actress, if you guys want to do that out there in radio land, make sure you research what you want to do. Talk to people who have already come before you, who know both. Get a good mentor that you can look up to and they can give you advice, because the entertainment industry is a very difficult place to be, but if you have the knowledge, you can succeed. And if you need to holler at me, get on Facebook.
Yeah, that was rolling to my next thing. I was going to ask, how can we support you? How can we contact you? How can we, lift Mara up?
Well, you can start by following me on Twitter. It's twitter.com. Mara, MARA _Hall, HALL, and I can keep you abreast of what I'm doing in the entertainment industry. That's Mara _Hall. You can also follow me on Facebook, Mara.Hall, MARA.HALL.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, Mara. I love always getting up and contacting with you. I appreciate your time and really proud of what you're doing. And like I say, I'm just really excited to see, what you're doing, and I'm just really excited for your future.
Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate it. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you and your listeners today. I really appreciate it. I had a great time.
All right. I'll see you next time.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Okay, well, making sure we're back live. All right, we're back live, and we thanks to Mara for her time for the interview. Before we sign off, we're going to introduce that we're going to go ahead and just open up the phone lines from now on, and from every episode forward, we'll play the podcast of, whatever Choppin' It Up interview that we have, Forever the 90 Degree Show, or all those shows. We'll play the podcast, but we'll still leave time for people to time for people to call in and voice their opinion and say something. We've noticed over the last couple of weeks that people still want to call in, and they could just say, hey, can we at least get on there and give a shout out or something? So we're not going to deny anyone that right, and, that would be great for the show. So for anyone from the future, if they want to call in and say something about the podcast or whatever they want to, you're free to do that. We're going to go ahead and cut out the not accepting phone calls variable. So back to that, before we sign off, we'll hear from our sponsors one last time. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor to the show, please contact the show and we'll give you the criteria so we can start to pub your business using our platform. We will play your commercial, we will post your website on our blog, and we will help sign out information through social media. So contact us so we can build your business.
What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to bandhead.org. And coming this fall, HBCUbands.com. Write that down, HBCUbands.com. Are you thinking of tying the knot, having a party, or celebrating that special time in your life? To capture these special moments, call Liquid Effects Photography and take advantage of our 10 years of quality and experience. Liquid Effects Photography covers most of the Midwestern U.S. and will travel even farther on request. Call us at 773-454-5556. That's 773-454-5556. Or check out our website, liquideffects.com. That's LIQUIDEFFEX.com. Come experience the uniqueness of Liquid Effects Photography. Attention high school directors and alumni. Does your band need to raise money to travel, buy instruments, or uniforms? Are you looking to raise money to help your band? Well, Big Deal Fundraising is rapidly becoming one of the largest distributors of fundraising products in the industry. Big Deal is based in New York City and ships anywhere in the United States, offering quality products, fast delivery, and innovative consultation that will help you meet your fundraising goals. Call today at 855-244-4430 or visit us at BigDealFundraisingUSA.com. Big Deal Fundraising, your fundraising partner for your band or music ensemble. Is your credit score keeping you from buying a home, a car, starting a business, or getting a job? Is your score keeping you from living the life you want? Well, look no further than Universal Credit Sources. UCS can help with charge-offs, collections, late payments, bankruptcy, foreclosure, debt settlement, tax liens, and more. Our program is affordable with results in as little as 40 days. Call now for your free 10-minute consultation with Senior Credit Analyst and Loan Officer Angie B. Call her direct line at 469-362-9904. That's 469-362-9904. Or check out the website at universalcreditsources.com. Universal Credit Sources for anything that's hurting your credit score. Block Band is a minority-owned music business that you can think of as your assistant band director. We help grow your musicians with a great selection of traditional concert band music. Then we back up their performance with necessities like reeds, oil, drum heads, drumsticks, and mallets. Finally, we outfit your players and auxiliary in shoes, spats, and gloves that match our precise custom drills. Got band? If so, then Block Band's got you. Check blockbandmusic.com or call us at 919-698-2560. That's blockbandmusic.com, 919-698-2560. Are you ready for this year's College Battle of the Bands? Are you ready for some in-depth analysis on your school's band and dialogue about the battles they're fighting? Well, look no further than the 90 Degree Show, brought to you by the Marching Podcast and Blog Talk Radio. Every Sunday during the college football season at 8 p.m. Eastern, we recap the most intriguing battles of the weekend and give you, the listener, an opportunity to voice your opinion on the battle by calling into the show and talking with our panelists. Are you ready for the only interactive show in the world for HBCU marching bands? Then check us out Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern at blogtalkradio.com/marchingpodcast. That's Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern at blogtalkradio.com/marchingpodcast. The 90 Degree Show, the world's first and only interactive HBCU band podcast show.
All right, that's all the time we have for the show. We want to appreciate all the people and all the time that we've put into the show. We're really excited about the future and about the things that are coming along. Excuse me. We're really going to try to get ourselves out there with as far as marketing and advertising, getting the 90 Degree Show out there as many places as possible, and our other shows as well. So, just word of mouth and just let people know how you're doing, and definitely let them know about the Marching Podcast. So, it's outstanding. I really appreciate all the support and time that we're able to get, and really excited about what we plan for the future. So that's all the time we have for the show. I want to thank Mar for her time. Check out the website and donate what's in your heart to themarchingpodcast.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Thanks to you for listening. And remember, the eye is a better pupil and more willing than the ear. Advice may be misleading, but examples are always clear. See you next time.